a new experiment in GTA 5. Today we will test which car can drive through water bumps. And each time they get bigger and bigger, but it becomes more and more difficult to drive through them. So watch until the end, give a like, and of course subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new experiments.
As always, your favorite little penguin Koki is here with you,
where we'll see how far cars can go across the water bumps. Today I've prepared a truly incredible and super unusual off-road car collection, which is made up exclusively of the very coolest off-roaders and the absolute tallest monster trucks in the entire world. So make sure to watch the video until the end and leave a like so you don't miss any new awesome experiments. And be sure to write in the comments which off-roader you think will make it to the finish line today and manage to cross all the water bumps. By the way, we even have a mini tractor and I suggest we start with it because honestly it looks more like a lawnmower to me. And it's unlikely that it'll make it to the finish line. But anyway, the most important thing is that today we're testing real off-road vehicles. We even have Lambos here, some Ladas, G-Wagons, unusual Hummers, and giant monster trucks. Honestly, I've never seen a monster truck this tall before. But the most important thing is how well the cars will handle this challenge. So this is the very first level of the challenge, and as you can clearly see, the distance between our bumps, or our speed bumps, you can call them whatever you want, is actually very, very small. To get stuck here, well, I don't even know who could possibly get stuck here, maybe a tiny little fish at the very most. Basically, even a heavy tractor can get through this part really easily. Now the second level begins and look, there's already a lot more water here than before, so we really need to accelerate as much as we possibly can. Because the tractor is very slow and incredibly heavy, it barely manages to struggle through the second level, but I think it'll eventually make it. It's actually quite surprising. I honestly thought we wouldn't... No, I think we're about to get stuck right now. Okay, now it's getting absolutely crazy. Seriously, it didn't sink, it just got completely stuck and there's nothing you can really do about it. It just got stuck right before reaching the third level. Well, it looks like our run is officially over. Next up is... This is a real Lambo. And it's an off-road one too. You might think Lamborghini, supercar, but no. Today we actually have a collection of off-road vehicles. See, real off-road tires with treads. Which means this car should really handle all the challenges much better. By the way, I just thought of something. Since it's a Lambo, it should be fast. Let's try to reach the maximum speed and see what this car is capable of. Maybe at top speed we'll get through this challenge much better. Or maybe... not really. Well, alright then, speed didn't really help us much. At least, that is what I believe. The bigger the wheels, the significantly greater the probability of passing this challenge. And the Lambo has very small wheels and a very low suspension, even though it's an SUV. And here comes the third level, but luckily we didn't drown. Phew, okay, we got lucky. So far we've been lucky. It's really hard to get through this in the Lambo, even though it's a Lambo SUV. So far it's going more or less okay, but I feel like just a little more and it's over. Just look at this. That's it. The Lambo is completely submerged, and as soon as water gets into the engine, our Lambo will stop immediately. But still, this is already the 5th level, can you imagine? It's really deep here now, and I think our Lambo... Yeah, it's struggling immensely to make it through, and that's it. It has completely submerged and disappeared. That's exactly what I was talking about. Yeah, with small cars, you should absolutely never attempt to go through here. And level 5 is the highest level we were able to successfully achieve. Oh, wow. And actually, we don't just have regular SUVs here, but heavy-duty SUVs with all-terrain tracks. Seriously, it looks like a regular car at first glance, but instead of standard wheels, it has real, massive tracks. Now, this will be really interesting to test out, to see exactly how well it handles this terrain. Oh no, it just got stuck right there. Yeah, so that's it. Our run is completely over. It doesn't even flip over properly, seriously. I mean, I could have expected that we wouldn't make it all the way to the red level, but to flip over on the very first level, that's really something else entirely. Okay, let's just forget that car ever existed and move on to testing the next one. Alright, now we're moving on to some real heavy artillery. Just look at this. These aren't just any off-road vehicles. These are Rolls-Royces and G-Wagons, and not just regular ones, but 6-wheeled versions. Now this I really like a lot. And most importantly, the further we go testing these cars, the cooler they get. That's the usual rule. The further along the car is, the better it will handle this challenge. So make sure to watch the video until the end. And most importantly, today we're testing off-road vehicles. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I have a lot of awesome experiments on my channel where we test supercars, jet cars, you know, those cheat cars that can jump and even fly. In this same experiment, so if you like the off-road vehicles, be sure to check out the channel and watch other episodes with different classes of cars. Because off-roaders are definitely cool, but just imagine jet cars or supercars. That's really intense. And most importantly, write in the comments which car collections you want to see tested in this experiment next. Maybe some jumping car collections, cheat cars, or jet cars, or supercars. Although I think supercars probably won't get very far since they're so low. But anyway, write in the comments, I read every comment and I'll give you a heart. Personally, I'd probably test the jet cars, because once you activate the boost, they fly straight to the finish line. And by the way, we're already at the red level, and Russ, let's see. Phew, he almost drowned. Look, so far this is definitely the best car. Our Lamborghini has already stopped right here, but the Rolls-Royce just keeps on going. Though I really have a strong feeling that it is going to sink very soon. Yeah, that's true. It's really way too deep here. Our Rolls-Royce is almost completely underwater. I don't know how tall a car would have to be. Maybe monster trucks? Exactly. Next time we need to test real monster trucks. They'll definitely make it to the finish line 100%. Oh, look. Next up we have the G-Wagons. One is 6-wheeled and the other is a regular one. Well, actually, it's not exactly regular. It's tall. It's really very tall. I think this particular G-Wagon might actually make it all the way to the finish line. And just look at how cool it looks. You definitely have to give a like for that paint job. It really does look awesome. Such an unusual rainbow color scheme. Let's go. Full acceleration, by the way, it's also really fast. I really like this. Following you, we covered almost half of the whole map in just 5 short seconds. Granted, our G-Wagon fell apart along the way. The bumper's already gone, but that's okay. The most important thing is to reach the finish line. So we're going to go full throttle and try to get through all the water bumps. Carefully now, the red level is already close, but just look. The G-Wagon is almost completely submerged. The most critical factor to remember is to prevent any water from entering the engine, because if water gets in, the car will stall out almost immediately. Okay. So far this is the hardest, level 5. None of our cars have made it past level 5 yet. There's the Lambo lying over there and the Rolls-Royce, but it seems like the G-Wagon is handling it much better. Now this I like. Perfect, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Level 6. Guys, I think this is already unreal because it's twice as big as level 5 and this is really going to be intense. The G-Wagon is completely underwater, but it's still going, seriously. Okay, I like this, I really like this. Look, it's not even a G-Wagon anymore, it's basically a submarine. A real one. No, 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 no. That's it. It stalled. I can't control it anymore. Water got into the engine, but we were actually so incredibly close, we only had to get through level 7. However, it is just so massive that I really do not think any car can ever make it through. It's actually really deep here. Look at this, you could even go diving here. Alright, let's go test the next car. I hope it can get past level 7. Well, it's time to test the 6-wheeled G-Wagon. And it looks way more powerful. Just look at those rear wheels. It feels like it could accelerate to 1,000 kilometers per hour. By the way, let's test that out. Let's go for maximum acceleration. Maybe we can fly straight to the finish line. That would be really awesome. It's actually super fast, just look. Yeah, but its suspension is actually really low. And let's just make sure we don't go swimming. We made it out great, but we flew through half the map in one go. This is already the 4th level. And take a close look at how perfectly it's handling this impressive challenge. Since the vehicle is quite long and the suspension works just exceptionally beautifully, it doesn't even get stuck at all. And by the way, this is already the 5th level. Here it is, whoa. 5th level, red, this is supposed to be really tough. But thanks to this incredible speed, I think we should be able to get through everything easily. Come on, G-Wagon, let's go, let's go, let's go, perfect. Okay, now we just need to get as much acceleration as we possibly can, catch this wave, and we'll make it right to the finish line. Come on, come on, come on, the purple level is already getting very close now. The G-Wagon is completely submerged under the water, but wait, no, 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 get back, back, back. It's actually really, really deep right here. Let's go, full acceleration now, completely underwater, and we are finally surfacing. Come on, G-Wagon, I'm sure we have to make it to the finish. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Just a little more. Phew. Our engine stalled. Guys, I can't hear the engine sound. Then if I stop, just look. That's it. It stalled. It won't go any further. We were so lucky to make it to the finish. But still, this is already the first car that has passed this tough experiment. That's really cool. And if you wrote this G-Wagon in the comments, good job, you'll get a heart from me in the comments. Well, now we're going to test the next cars. By the way, we've actually ended up with a quite unusual collection of 6-wheeled cars here. Seriously, there are a very large number of cars with 6 wheels. I wonder which one will handle it better. For example, we have a new Hummer model, but this one is an all-electric version. That means it should be significantly faster on the road. It's really interesting to test it out and see what it can do. Although it's probably heavier. It actually weighs about 2 or 3 tons, probably. It's really like a real tank, even though it jumps incredibly well. And that's exactly what I like about these giant cars. They're really huge and fast, so they can cross the entire length of the map in literally 2 seconds. Most importantly, we keep driving, and it feels amazing to be behind the wheel. Just look at this. We don't even go underwater because the cars are so long. They handle the deep water really well. So we're just riding the wave, passing through perfectly, well, almost perfectly. Now we are on a brand new level, and each one gets harder and harder. This car is actually heavier, so it is really tough to control. It keeps swerving from side to side. Just look at it go, left, then right. I honestly feel like on the red level, we will just sink because of this weight, since it is super hard to handle right now. But actually, no, listen, here it is actually a bit easier. We are like surfers jumping over the waves, going left, right, perfect. Now for the 6th level, and now it is getting really intense. The car is completely submerged underwater, but somehow it still keeps going. Come on, keep it perfect. Stop. No, that is it. It is all done. Yeah, after all, this is an electric vehicle, and as soon as the water gets into the battery pack, that is it. Our car just stops moving. The 6th level is the maximum, and so far only one car has made it to the finish line. Well, the number of cars is getting smaller and smaller, but at the same time, they're getting cooler and cooler. For example, take a look at this cool Rubicon Jeep, but it's not just any Jeep, it's a 6-wheeler. I suggest we go for maximum acceleration and just look at how well the suspension handles it. It's like we're driving on a smooth road in this thing. It's honestly impressive. Look, we've covered half the map and it's like it doesn't even feel those bumps. These are the kinds of cars I really like. Seriously, we're about to just, with one jump, make it to the finish. Are you kidding me? Wait, you could actually do that? I'd do it like that with every car. Seriously, I didn't even notice how we made it to the finish, honestly. But that was definitely really cool. An incredible trick like that definitely deserves a like. So that makes it the 2nd car to reach the finish line. Whoa, look at that. And now we're getting into some real cars from the future. Actually, there's still one 6-wheeled car left. I suggest we quickly test it and then move on to the real cars from the future because they should perform much better. Wow, did you see that? The car is glowing. That can only mean one thing, it's insanely fast. So let's go for maximum acceleration and... Alright, the suspension here works a bit worse than on our previous Jeep, but still... Okay, that'll do, more or less. By the way, it doesn't have 6 wheels, but a whole 8. Look, 2 spares, just in case. In case one wheel gets lost. And a second one, so we're going to go for maximum acceleration and... Yeah, this is going to be tough. Are we really going to drown here? No. I really thought we were just going to sink right down at the orange level in such a cool off-roader. But no, that's absolutely impossible. No, that just doesn't happen 100%. Okay, red, level 5. This is exactly where most of the off-road vehicles ended up sinking. Whether this 8-wheeled Hellfire can handle it, we'll have to find out. By the way, it's actually going pretty well, and so far not even any water is getting in. Although here begins level 6, the car is completely underwater, and it's a really big question whether it can make it to the finish or not. Right now, scroll down and write in the comments whether you think this car will make it to the finish, because I don't think it will. I have a strong feeling that it is most likely not going to be able to successfully reach the finish line. It's incredibly deep in here, just take a look. There is easily enough space for 2 more of these cars, or even 3. This is really intense, but okay, that's actually not a bad result. I was still hoping it would make it to the finish, but unfortunately, no luck. And here are our cars from the future. Real hypercars, just look at them. Seriously, if cars like this exist in the future, I'm definitely on board with that. I wonder if they have any superpowers, maybe they're super fast or can even fly, although I doubt it. We actually have a certain class of cars that really do have superpowers. Each car either has a turbo booster or can fly. We test those kinds of cars too, so if you haven't seen those videos yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel, check them out, and watch those awesome videos. Seriously, almost all of them make it to the finish line. And as for the off-road vehicles, well, they're kind of so-so. It looks like a car from the future, but its suspension is actually really low. We're at level 4 now, and we're already starting to have big problems. I feel like if we stop, we might just end up sinking. No, I was just kidding. No, that's it. We're not going to stop. Okay, we only have 3 levels left and the red one has just started. This one is really the toughest. Because here the car is already completely underwater. But it's good that it made it out. Just a little more, literally 2 seconds and we would have just sunk. No, this is really bad. This is really bad. The car is completely submerged underwater, and honestly, the distance is greater than that of this futuristic SUV. Can you imagine? It's actually really hard to get through here, and unfortunately we didn't make it to the 6th level, but by the way, I actually like these cars much more because the suspension is really high. I mean, look, the suspension here is taller than me. And by the way, this is a car from Fast and Furious. Like, if you've watched Fast and Furious, and it's supposed to be able to go anywhere. Just look at it. Perfect. This is exactly what I like. Guys, I'm telling you, next time we're only testing heavy-duty monster trucks because the suspension works absolutely flawlessly. We're on the red level, but it's like we're driving on a regular road. Look, I'm not even making any effort at all. The car really goes through perfectly. Only on the purple, the last level, does it start to get stuck a little bit. No, easy, please. Come on, gearbox. This is a problem, guys. This is a big problem. A really big problem. Yeah. I think this is the saddest run because how much did we miss? We were 5 meters short of the finish. Are you serious? I'm really upset. I don't even know what to say here, but okay. We'll leave that car here. It's rusty anyway. Apparently, it had already been lying at the bottom of the ocean before, and now it will just stay there. Unfortunately, it never actually made it to the finish line. But right here, we have a fully prepared Jeep. And by the way, speaking of cars with incredible superpowers, we actually have one specific car with a small but unique superpower. And that's actually this Jeep from the future. You might ask, what kind of superpower? And I'll tell you, you need to subscribe to the channel and not miss new videos because those who are subscribed know that this Jeep has a really cool superpower. Watch this. First of all, as we're driving, the suspension. Perfect, right? You don't feel the road at all, but that's not its main superpower. We jump, turn off gravity, and just look. The car flies as if it's in space. We can spin, twirl, do flips, spins, whatever we want, and it won't fall. Turn gravity back on, bam, that's it. It comes right back down. Did you see how awesome this car is? That's why it's perfect. Perfect! Another car has reached the finish line, and I think we can even go the other way. Look, we speed up, turn off gravity just like that, and we just do a full flip right on the way to the start or the finish, but now we are heading back to the start. We went there and back again, and you see the most important thing is that the car doesn't fall at all. It is just flying like it is in space. That is really insane. Turn the gravity back on, bam, and we land safely once again. This is honestly a really incredible car, and it 100% makes it all the way to the finish line. So we already have a total of 3 cars at the finish line. And from here on out, the cars just get more interesting. Well, we only have 3 cars left in the lot. And I suggest we start with the smallest one available. This is the Mike armored vehicle right here. It definitely looks very unusual. I wouldn't even call it a sport utility vehicle. It's more like a genuine armored vehicle. Just look, it's got rockets, a machine gun, all that stuff. It's honestly a remarkably cool car, and even when you see it, it even has a flamethrower, can you imagine? Oops. Yeah, right. Call the fire department, and I think I'll get going. By the way, whoa. I definitely wasn't kidding when I said the cars just keep getting more impressive and advanced. Look at how smoothly and flawlessly the suspension works. We've actually made it all the way to the red level, even though this car is absolutely super heavy. It just drives perfectly as if it's on a smooth road. But here, of course, problems start to appear because the car weighs, well, I don't know, like a real tank or something. And here, of course, it's going to have trouble getting through because weight really plays a key role in this experiment. The heavier the car, the less distance it's likely to cover. Well, yeah, you see, we're already starting to have problems at the 6th level. I think we might just sink here, although who knows. Now we're going to set the water on fire like this. Although I do not know what that is actually going to do for us, but okay. It is all just jokes for now, as we are still steadily climbing. By the way, the water isn't getting in at all. Well, almost. At the very least, we have made it to the 7th level, and right here, well, I think this is exactly where we finally reach our limit. Yeah, or maybe not. Seriously, what? Has the engine stopped working? But the car is still... Ah, that's it, it's done. I actually thought that with a dead engine we'd somehow manage to crawl to the finish line, but we were just a little short, literally 2 bumps away. But it's okay, the car itself is really heavy, and honestly I didn't expect it to make it to the finish anyway. And the second to last car for today is a real sports Kamaz, and after that comes the tallest Bugatti in the world. Just look at it. It's honestly like a skyscraper or something. I can't even see the actual Bugatti. It's really that tall. I feel like this one is 100% going to make it to the finish line because it's a monster truck, the tallest one. I think that even if you threw it into a regular ocean, it wouldn't sink there either. And as for these little bumps, that's honestly just funny. But the heavy-duty sports Kamaz, it really has a very hard time getting through this terrain. Because it's simply not made for these uneven bumps and dips. It immediately starts catching on the front and rear bumpers, and we barely managed to crawl up to the red level. And then it unfortunately starts to flip over. Seriously? It even made it all the way to the red level and then it just sank. Is this some kind of joke? Is this a prank or what? Seriously? Just in the middle of the map? Alright, let's just forget this Kamaz ever existed and go and test the absolute tallest car in the world right now. Para-pa-bum-pa-bum. It's time for the absolutely massive tallest Bugatti in the world. Look at that. It actually blocks out the sun. And just look at the size of these wheels. It's insane. They're 100 times bigger than me. But the most important thing... Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Look, I can already see the finish line over there. I can see all the cars. This is really incredibly high up. I mean, I think this massive Bugatti is easily as tall as a 10-story building, if not even more. Cars like this one, without a doubt, deserve a like. Honestly, I think it's absolutely clear that we're going to sink right on the very first level. That's it, guys. The car has sunk. Okay, just kidding. It's like we're just driving through a puddle in this thing. Seriously. I feel like nothing can stop this Bugatti at all. And you and I will easily make it to the finish line. Just look at this. It really looks hilarious. I need... And how many do we have? 7 levels. I need 100th level that's 100 times bigger than all of these. We'll drive through perfectly smoothly and without any problems at all. Although here, look, we're starting to have problems and we're barely making it through. Could the car really sink? I think it still can actually sink. It's really very tall, but at the same time, it has a really hard time getting through, but it still makes it to the finish. It was a close call. But we successfully crossed over the finish line. And what matters most of all, we have a total of 4 cars that made it to the finish today. But most importantly, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on new awesome experiments just like this one. This was Coxil with you, your favorite little penguin, and this watery experiment with water bumps. Good luck to everyone, have a great mood, and see you next time in GTA.